Good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning in Gothenburg, and today you and I are going to talk a little bit about programmer politics. So, I was watching some of the statistics on one of my videos just the other night. I was actually this weekend at the bachelor party, and believe it or not, on the boat ride home, everybody was so completely trashed that I had some time to do some thinking. Imagine that. And I was looking over the videos, and apparently there was a lot of discussion about on one of my versus videos where I compared, I think it was Kotlin to Scala. And I noticed that more like this was the case for another video I made a while back about Angular and why I don't think it's a good first choice for you to like start with Angular as a beginner. And I realized that there was quite a few, this was for some reason a very hot topic. Like the Scala people came to basically start fight. They came to start a fight virtually against, it's a strong word because not everybody feels that way. But there was a lot of people who didn't like that I personally prefer Kotlin and that I don't really see a reason for you to use the Scala. And I mean, it's not like I don't know anything about Scala. I've been working with Scala professionally for a few months now, and I can't actually utter an opinion on this topic. However, that's not what I wanted to talk about. This is not about Scala. It's not about Kotlin. It's about the other stuff. It's about people for some reason making it a very emotional matter of which programming language they like. I like to think about it as I've been a martial artist for a few years, and it's the same phenomenon you have there. If you ever, and this is if you're a professional, like if you've ever worked professionally with martial arts, or if you are a martial artist worthy your name, you will know that it is extremely taboo to utter the phrase, I think that this martial arts system is better than all the others. That's not a cool thing to do, because what's gonna happen is that you're gonna start a fight. Maybe not a literal fight, but people are going to have words about that, because people get very emotional about like what martial arts they practice. Because the thing is that for some reason, this term, the best, or something, something better, being better than something else, and if you, and some people do this, I don't know why, but if you have associated yourself with that in any manner, if you uttered the words like, I kind of like this, for some reason, some people feel that they are under attack and that you need to come to the defense of something in order for, I assume it is to basically justify their own decision to themselves, because hey, somebody doesn't agree with what I'm saying, and because I like this thing, I have to come to the defense of it and prove that other person wrong, because I can't have anybody not agreeing with the life decision or the decision that I've made, right? I need to make sure that I mentally feel that I made the right choice and that other person is incorrect. Now, I've never ever understood, I understand it, but I don't respect it, because the way that I see it, I was actually this extremely nice guy who made a comment the other day. I just had to answer immediately. He said something, the comment was basically that he thought it was very nice to have somebody who tries out various programming languages and like tries to figure out the pros and the cons, because that's what I try to do. When I compare languages, I try to focus on the positive. There are things I don't like about certain programming languages, and that's a very personal opinion of mine. And I make absolutely no claims to be some type of master of every programming language. I just like to do. I mean, I'm not an amateur programmer. Like some of the programming languages, I'm fairly good at, but I'm not sitting here trying to give expert advice on exactly all the on all the aspects that makes up for a good choice when it comes to a programming language. But anywho, what he said was very important. And what I replied was that the way that I look at programming and programming languages is that a programming language is a means for me to solve a problem. That's it. That's all there is to it. I am not in any way being emotional about something. Like, my favorite programming language arguably is JavaScript, and JavaScript gets bashed all the time in conversation. Do you have any idea how many times I talked to a Java guy who just basically said that anybody who does JavaScript is like a kid like playing with a toy, and that, you know, it's not a real programming language. You know, I get that on a daily basis. Kind of weird that the Scala people couldn't really, you know, that you can't deal with it when I can. And so what I'm trying to say here is that, or rather what I kept on saying was that, to me, the programming language I use is not an emotional choice. I use it because I see that there is a value in something with it. There's something about it that makes it useful to me to solve problems, because that's all it is. It's a method of solving problems. Some of these programming languages, some of the programming languages are really good at solving certain problems, and some of them are just very well rounded. I mean, that's the way it is. And some of them are designed by people that or rather in a way that doesn't really resonate with the way that I think about things, so they don't really become my first choice. And I'll gladly sit hours and hours and hours and talk about the way that I pick a language and what I consider, and basically all these different aspects. But the one thing you'll never see me do is to jump on a forum and start like trying to justify why I made a certain choice when it comes to a programming language. If you're interested at a professional level, that yeah, I picked this language because I consider those things, I will gladly have an open discussion. But it's not an emotional it's not an emotional topic for me, and it shouldn't be. So what I'm going to leave you with is this thought that if you feel that somebody is not doing your language justice, or you feel like somebody is bash talking. I mean, I see this happening in, like, I was doing when Netflix said that they stopped using React because they could get quicker load times, and people immediately felt that this was an attack on React. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not an attack on React. This is, you're being silly now. Why are you making a business decision or a technical decision into a discussion, like an emotional discussion? It's not about which one is better. It's about solving problems, and like a tool that might be very well suited for you at one given point in time, depending on your context, may not be so well suited for the next person, even though they have similar situation. It's the same way with programming. We all solve our problems in a different manner. It's just the way it is. And so what I want to basically say with this is that if you feel that you need to go and defend your programming language, then I think you should take a step back and reevaluate what it is a programming language actually is. And to me, this is highly personal, I know that. To me, a programming language is just a way for me to solve a problem. And that's the only thing it is to me. It's not a political debate. It's not something I go and get really emotional about. It's just a tool.